YouTube, man. Thank y'all for looking at this video. I hope y'all have an amazing day. In today's video, I will be going over like the best meta builds for bow. You know I love bow and I just want to help other bow users out. So if you're at the end game or you don't really understand why they're meta, I'm gonna kind of explain it and go over each build and my specific tweaks to them. Another thing too, I always feel like you should tweak these builds to your own personal playstyle, and that's what I did. So just make sure you do that. Even if it's the best DPS, make sure you tweak it in your playstyle. It doesn't matter if it's the best bow build. If you are uncomfortable playing it and it does not fit your playstyle, it just won't work. So just please make sure you do it. Very important. I wouldn't be telling you otherwise. But without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Let's go. So first up, we got the meta comfort build for the fire. The king bow is probably the best fire bow you can have. You can replace this with the Safi if you don't have the Kajar bow, but I would just recommend you get the king Kajar bow because it has critical element on it. With the Safi build, you're gonna have to put Velkhana essence on it, and it takes a long time to get that skill and it's very annoying. So I just would recommend the king. But I made my own specific build. As you can see, I made a couple of adjustments for my specific playstyle and it works for me. It may not be the best, but I still got all the skills I need. Spread shot level 2, 4-shot level 2, and critical element. My stamina is moderately okay. Even though I have stamina surge level 1, I still get the job done. This is pretty much the only meta for me personally in my playstyle. There's other meta sets for specific monsters. You know, I'm gonna get a little bit into it, but not too deep. I'm gonna show the set that's used for Namiel because there is a bow that's better for specific monsters, the Taraf fire bow, and I'm gonna show how that's better in specific cases. If you're the type of person that wants to go see numbers, I will put everything in the link in the description so you can see for yourself. I'm gonna try my best to find the best sources so you can just find all the information you need to. But the Taraf bow goes crazy on element. Really don't like it though because it's so decoration heavy. You got to sacrifice your slots in order just to unlock the element because you know it's unlocked because it's a Taraf bow, so you have to unlock it. So you waste a lot of room in the decoration that could be used for something else. That's for more comfort in the build, but this is a DPS. It's not really a comfort build, but just showing for specific monsters. If you want a good class for Namiel for DPS, I'll put a class in here that I usually use, and it's pretty good if you're like skilled with the bow. Not really for beginners, but like I said, it's good for DPS. The Taraf bow overall looks good on paper, but I still use the king bow just because it has a lot more room to build on. The last one I'm gonna put in here is the Safi bow, and I do use the Safi bow sometimes for the fire. Specifically, this one is a coalescence build because I actually love coalescence. It's a really good skill along with the critical element. I did get agitator level 5. I couldn't get it to level 7, but it still does a lot of damage to anybody who is weak to fire. So, and you get a big boost from coalescence once you eat a null berry or recover from blight damage, so that's very worth it. I was very comfortable putting this on this list. It's an honorable mention. I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely up there. But let's move on to the next bow. Then we got the Safi's Aqua bow. This is a very good meta and comfort build, like very comfortable. You can be creative with this. You can switch it around. Most valuable skills that it has is the agitator. Agitator is very important for every weapon, not just bow, but it makes a difference. It has critical eye level 5. You could switch around the attack to get that to level 7. That's what I did personally. And on top of that, it has critical element. If you can get that awakened ability from the Safi's Velkhana essence, and it just makes everything easier. That's how this build can be so comfortable. And even if you don't have all the jewels, you can definitely substitute a lot of these jewels and still have an amazing build. This is my online multiplayer go-to. Then we get into my favorite DPS set. Personally, this is my favorite one. I use this and get all my good times, or if I just feel like killing Teosha very fast, I'm mad, I want to let out some steam. This is the class I use personally. This is definitely the one I am using because this is my favorite one. It has a lot of good skills, especially coalescence. I feel like this is safe too because at least you're not losing health like the Safi. That's a lot of reason why I don't even use Safi. Speaking of Safi, the next one is the Safi meta build. A lot of people like Safi, but me personally, like, I'm not the biggest fan. But if it has the highest DP, I know I can't get no further with no other class. Then if I'm going for a speed run, I will use it. But it's not my particular first choice, but it's definitely a good meta set. The next one, I tweaked it a little bit just to fit my personal play style. Like I said before, make sure that you are making these due to your playstyle. So like if you know that you need stamina because you run out of stamina a lot, then go for stamina skills. Like you're the only person who knows how you play, you know. So I could show you all these builds, but at the end of the day, you have to know how you play as a player. Like, you know, what are your strong suits? Like, you know, just figure it out, because you can't play like everybody. The next one is a Safi build again, but this time is for comfortability. So if you like the first set or the Safi, or you want to try Safi out and you want to be a little bit more safe with it, this is definitely a good build, and I would try this out most definitely. If you want to get better, Safi is a good way to get better too, because it punishes you for missing your shots. Because if you miss your shots and you're getting hit, you're going to inevitably die. So it's up to you to hit your shots. So Safi kind of forces you to hit your shots. That's the only reason I like it, because it does make you better, but you know, it's risky as well. But let's move on to the next bow. Then we got the meta thunder bow. Safi thunder bow is extremely good. I think the Taraf bow outperforms it, like I said, with specific monsters. A lot of these situations with the Taraf bow specifically outperforms certain monsters, just because the element on the Taraf bows are so high. But then that leads me to the Taraf build, actually specific monsters that's supposed to be, you know, like the highest DPS. But me personally, I don't really like using this because, like I said before, not that many slots, not that much freedom, and you can do a lot more. Actually, I rather prefer just get coalescence if I'm going to sacrifice that much. So I made my own specific tweak to the build, and that's what I have personally, because it's pretty much the same. It's going to be the same pretty much on all these classes. I think it's different for Ra, obviously, but Dragon is a little bit different because you're using a different weapon. But pretty much all these go hand in hand, especially with the ones I've showed so far. They're pretty much the same skills and the same tweaks that I made to my classes. You can see a pattern going on. You see like the same type of classes and the same type of skills being used with all these. Thunder's pretty simple, not that much to say about it. So let's move on to the next bow. Got the ice meta and comfortability build. This build, you cannot go wrong with it. I always use this online just like I use the other ones, but I always have my own tweaks to it. Now I'm gonna just be showing you my own tweaks that I made to it. And sometimes if I'm not explaining the skills, it's because it's kind of repetitive. A lot of these same classes have the same skills in it. For me personally, that's why I'm saying you can use this as a base and build off whatever you want. We got the Kajar stream for the Safi build. Very good class against Rajang. Originally, I was using this as a speed run tester. Eventually, I made my own and made my own tweaks that I'm gonna show you at the end. But then we have the safe version of the Safi build I just showed you. So if you want more comfortability, I will use this. And I definitely had to show you the coalescence build that I have for ice, because this is the main one I use if I'm going for a speed runner or more heavy, good damage. A lot of these builds that I have in this video, if they're coalescence, most of the time I use them just because of the boost I get from coalescence. Like some people argue that like coalescence isn't the best because some monsters don't really have a blight to recover from, but it's very situational based. Most of the monsters that I fight on a daily basis have blights, and when I recover from it, I can benefit from the coalescence. So I like it so much, but that's a personal opinion. Now I got an honorable mention. This is specifically a class that I use for Rajang. If I really want to kill him like the fastest, I want to add this because I know a lot of people fight Rajang and they got their own class, but this is what I came up with personally. So you can go ahead and use it if you want to, but if you're a bow user and you're really trying to get better, it has nothing to do with the video, but I would really fight Rajang by yourself and just keep fighting him. Like I've gotten so better, my reaction time got so better just from fighting Rajang. I think it's one of the best fights on this game, to be honest. I know it's frustrating, but I actually like Rajang. Shout out Rajang, even though he get on my nerves. Then we got the Dragon Comfort set. This set is pretty good. It actually has a lot of good skills in it. And plus it has coalescence. This is like the only one with comfort on this list originally that has coalescence, health boost, evade window. Like the Electrion bow is really a blessing from Capcom. Then we got my personal tweak that I made specifically if you want to copy it or just take notes from it or use it as a base. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite elements on the game. It has so much room to improve. And then we got the Meta Dragon build originally, and this is good. I really didn't have to tweak that much, but I still tweaked it a tiny bit. But all these classes are amazing and will absolutely destroy anybody who is weak to Dragon, especially Rathalos and Raytheon. the meta comfort build for Raw. It's one of my favorite classes because I love fighting Fatalis. It's such a fun fight for me specifically, but it's a lot of room in here to be creative as you want to. Even if you wanted to put a heavy artillery like I did in my class, you can see just so you can get that automatic knockdown from a Roman ballista. I think it's very necessary if you're fighting Fatalis, but it's a whole bunch of things you can do with this specific set. And now I'm gonna show the meta set. I'm not too much big of a fan of this. I don't think I ever used this meta set, to be honest, and I still have gotten 8 minutes and a lot of good times on Fatalis without using this set ever. So I don't know, I just put it in the video just because. But the next one I'm gonna just plug in here, it's not really a raw build, but it's a build that'll help you break Fatalis's head, because if you use the bow and violence of Fatalis bow, it's not going to break his head, or it has a very low chance of doing it. It'll take a lot more shots than if you would use the Electrion bow. So I put a class in here, and this build can actually break his head very fast. For some reason, I don't know the specific reasons, because I'm not, I just know that this breaks his head a lot faster than a Fatalis bow. So if you're ever going for a head break, you should use this specific build, or just build around this build. And you know how it is, if you don't break the head for his bow, it gets ugly. It gets very ugly. One shot, one shot, one shot. The last one I wanted to put in this is Frostcraft. It's definitely worth being on this list. The numbers I get is just ridiculous. Frostcraft has always been broken for every weapon damn near, but the bow you don't see it a lot because Frostcraft takes time to build up the bar. You have to put up your weapon, and since bow you have to consecutively attack and consecutively rapid shot or just shoot your arrows in general. It's not really the best for Frostcraft, but if you know how to play at a certain play style and you know how to time things right, you can actually be a beast with this. A lot of people I feel like will be good because sometimes you don't feel like shooting all the time, you just want to retreat, but when the opening goes, you go crazy. So this can fit a certain niche play style, and it's definitely worth trying. I would definitely try this if you ever just want to have fun or see a lot of numbers. It may be your style, you never know. Like, you may be the best with Frostcraft, you don't even know because you never played it, but I would play this if you have not. I love Frostcraft. It's fun to me. Like, it's satisfying too. It's really satisfying. But that's pretty much all the classes I have. Now I'm gonna just go into my last advice and final reasons. Like some things that people have asked me in the past that I just want to put in this video. Just if somebody ever asks me again, I can just reference this video. And yeah, man, let's go. So now I just want to say a couple of final advice and last words. So when I first got this game, I was so confused on builds, and I thought like if I got the best build ever that all the speedrunners got, I was going to get good. That is not the case. That is why in the beginning of this video I told you that you need to shape and mold these builds specifically to cater to you. If you want to copy it as a base, as a starting point, nothing wrong with that. I copy other people's build all the time, and I just change specific aspects of it, to cater to me. But that's what you're supposed to do, because how somebody else's plays is completely different from how you play. Like I said in the beginning, when I was like trying to have the best of the best, I was getting my like I was getting messed up by like every single monster. And I'm like, yo, I have the best of the best. I'm still getting smacked. But it's not about having the best anything. All the skills do is enhance the player. You're still like the player. Like, these are not going to make you just amazing at the game, but it will make the monsters die faster. So if the skill is there, then the time will get there, and whatever goal you have. But everybody's goal is not to kill the monster as fast as it can. Some people just like having fun and just having, can hold their own. But it's all about what you want, to be honest. Just don't go having these builds thinking that you the man and like, oh yeah, like, no, bro. That's the wrong idea. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to get that out the way. I'm gonna explain some details that I think some people are confused about. But if you already know, just ignore it. But this is for people who just probably don't understand it or just don't get the concept. Look, these two skills are very beneficial. Like, I see a lot of people trading these skills. These should be like you should never, matter of fact, yeah, you should never trade these skills. Critical boost and weakness exploit is like, you actually need that to be level 3 every single time. Like, I don't care what's happening. Like, no trading, even if it's coalescence or something. Just wait till you have more like different build or anything. I see a lot of people trying to trade weakness exploit and critical boost. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sell your weapons. I know a lot of people who had a boatload of soppy weapons and they just sold them because they felt like they didn't need them. Stop selling. Like, bro, you're gonna always want something new and like try something new. Cause I picked up like 5 new weapons over the span of 2 weeks, but you know, just cause I'm bad at all of them, but you know, I wanted to try something new and I had weapons left over. Basically, the moral of the story: don't sell anything because you might need it later down the road in your career. Silver Rathalos is obsolete. It's not bad to me because a lot of new players still need Silver Rathalos until they can get Safi. But a reason I specifically don't like it at all, and people tell you to get rid of it, is because it takes like 4 pieces to just unlock the skill of Silver Rathalos. Where if you have a Kajar weapon, it takes none. It just literally takes the weapon and it comes with critical element. Silver Rathalos, it just takes way too much decorations and slots for just something that you can get so easily by either having a Kajar weapon or just getting a Safi weapon or some good coalescence skills. Like it's just too much. Like, but if that's the only thing you have, use it. Don't be ashamed of it. We all been there before. Just keep grinding. You'll eventually get there, I promise you. But some of the Taraf bows, specifically for bow, have so much element. But the reason I don't like it specifically is because you have to unlock the element. It's grayed out. So you literally have to get the jewel free element, and that wastes a lot of decos that I want to put. That's the sacrifice you have to do for Taraf. In tiny situations, Taraf is better to have. In certain situations, even the Taraf water, I haven't spoken about that, but Taraf water is good. I know some speedrunners personally use Taraf water for their speed runs. But that's what I'm saying. It's so much creativity in this game. You have to experiment on your own. You know, it's good to listen to other people, but your own experience defines you. It does. It really does. My experience may be really different from yours. You may like something that I think is downright horrible, and that's why I keep repeating the same thing. You know, I'm not gonna say it again, but the last thing with a lot of these comfort builds wanted you to put Velkhana essence in your bow for the Safi specifically, because it just makes everything easier to do it that way. I see why they put it, because that's the most optimal way, but that's not the only way to do it. You could definitely just put all element and then just put vitality jewels on to cover the health if you wanted to, if you still wanted to be safe. But the main reason they did that was try to get the critical element from the Velkhana essence and only have to have 1 Velkhana piece instead of having 2, so you can have that health boost. And that's a good way, but it's other ways to do it. But that's all I got for today's video. You know, I don't really have much to say else. I hope this helps somebody. If anything, most of these builds I do use myself, but I change these builds like every day. If something goes wrong and I'm running into a problem, I literally change these. So these builds probably might not be the same in like 2 days. Like literally, I change my builds like every day. I'll add something new and test it out to see. And you should do it the same way. That's literally how like people have their builds. Just test stuff out. You never know what'll work and what might not work for you. But other than that, if you made it to this point, make sure you like and subscribe. I thank you so much for looking at this video. And if you new, make sure you subscribe to the channel and show some love. I do play other games. I don't just play Monster Hunter World. So yeah, man. But peace. I'll see y'all later and good luck hunting.